All right, well, the kids may be groaning, but parents are probably rejoicing. It's time to get back to school. And from new policies to a new school year, it's best to be prepared. So who better to do that than Dr. Joe Hairston, Superintendent of Baltimore County Schools. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's nice having you here. First, let's start with, what a wild week we had with Irene. Are all the schools in the county okay?
All the schools except 16 at this point now. Obviously, these are issues that are out of our control, and we're working very closely. We're very tolerant and patient with BGE at this point now. As soon as the power is restored, we'll be back to normal again.
Has it been tough to sort of balance all this? I would imagine that getting back to school is sort of a juggling act, and then you throw Mother Nature in the mix.
Well, Mother Nature is something that we try to prepare for. We build in 7 days for emergencies such as this. And, of course, we have a critical incident response team that we put together. It's pretty much like the emergency management team. So we will prepare to make whatever adjustments that we have to make at this point now. Those schools that are online had a great day yesterday. Students were very excited about being back. Our teachers were ready to go. And I can't say enough about our wonderful principals who provide leadership for our young people.
On the subject of leadership, you are sort of really talking to your schools about the new normal. Can you kind of explain to people at home what exactly that means and why it's so important to sort of change the way that we think?
The normal 40 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago would look like a school where all the students looked alike. They came from the same community. They were taught the same way. They had the same expectations. Now, all of a sudden, because of the internet, globalization, this international communication, students are able to talk to students in China and meet with them, and from India. You have a melting pot. So the classroom today isn't normal in relationship to what it used to be 10, 15, 20, and 30 years ago. The classroom now is a global classroom. It is not normal. The new normal in education is to look at things in a more efficient way. It's not about how much resource you can get. It's more about how efficient you can use the resources that you have. The new normal is looking at different ways to reach more students, to get them prepared at a higher level.
Is that hard for teachers? Is that hard for administrators? And is it hard for parents and students too?
Great question. The business that we're in with regards to education is not dealing with widgets or objects.
Right.
We're dealing with human beings.
Sure.
And the real challenges evolve around how do you get into the heart and minds of people? How do you get in the heart and minds of adults to get their beliefs and values aligned with yours? How do you get in the heart and minds of young people to get them to a point of aspiration where they want to be more than what they are at this point now? And so the innovation, the creativity rests with the issues of what teachers and educators and administrators have to do to move the agenda forward.
Is that what's worked for you? Because you've been doing this job. You've been leading Baltimore County Schools for 12 years, which is a long time. And I imagine it's challenging and it changes all the time. It's evolving. So what's been working for you to sort of lead the schools all this time?
There is no building that I can think of, I've never seen one that has Joe Hairston on it. There's nothing on our letterheads that says Joe Hairston Public Schools. It says the Baltimore County Public Schools. That means a community that consists of 804,000 citizens have demonstrated that they value education, they want good schools, they want their children to be educated. So the work that I do is in response to the values and beliefs of the community.
Yeah.
It's a service.
When you have such a diverse community, Baltimore County is so big, and it's got to be a tough job. It's got to be a challenge.
Whenever you deal with the human condition, there's nothing perfect about it.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line. You have to be flexible, you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, and you have to be a dreamer. You have to believe.
Anything that parents need to know before they head back to school? Anything you want them to do before they get their kids back in the classroom?
I would love for our parents to be like parents were in the past. Care about their children, try to get an understanding of what we want to do with them in the classroom, and follow through by reinforcing those activities at home. We would love to engage with parents with open communication. We intend to do more outreach in the community. In fact, next Tuesday we have a board meeting that will be held out in the community at Easton High School,
Great.
Easton Technical High School on the east side of the county. Our Board of Education will conduct this entire meeting in a remote location other than the Greenwood campus. And it was one opportunity for us to demonstrate that we want to be more transparent and we want to get out there and be a part of the community.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
Keep up
Delighted
the
to be
good
here.
work.
Thank you so much.